Dev time, dev time. Last time we were doing something, so we're just going to keep doing that same something. Right, yes, okay. So, I think I need to fundamentally change how apply funcs works. Just because it's a bit messy. I'm deeply confused here. Yeah, okay, I see. So, let me think about this a little bit differently. Oh yeah, that's right. I was already in the process of thinking about this a bit differently. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have the components listed there. I should probably trim that before splitting it so that I don't have any new line at the end. Let me just make sure that I remember the function name correctly. Yes. Okay, so for post, let me just I think that AVUtil probably has everything. No. AV format has everything because it also has FS. Okay, so I will look at AV format to think about how to do this. Hello, Joy. Bonjour. Instead of collecting this all in a string, I'm going to write it directly to standard output, as I should have done in the first place. Oh, I know why I didn't do that, because this was making multiple files. Okay. I am, Joey. How am I? Yes. Okay, so let's think here. So for each function, it has to C-wrap it, of course, possibly make it async, and possibly do error no checking. For each accessor, it needs to do C-wrap. But it's like different things. I'm just trying to think of any way to sort of combine these together in a wise way. Maybe I start and then see where I get. Defaults. Just making sure that C and, okay, so C I forgot to put there. Well, not so much forgot. No, I'd say forgot. It'll be easier that way. I guess this would be in the default fragment. Oh. Where is my... Huh? Oh, I guess I don't... Is that what's happening? I don't have a default components fragment? Interesting that I decided to make AVUtil a fragment. Why would I do that? Because I'm an idiot, I think is the answer. Yeah, that's nonsense. Everything that's in AVUtil should be in default. In fact, default should already be there, so I should just be able to make configs, and that should do it, right? Default components. Yes, okay. Made that more complicated than it needed to be. Okay, for each component, const decal of, wait, I have to actually read it first. Let's see here. Funcs.json. Funcs component dot funcs component functions. Okay, for each function, let's at least attempt to reuse code. Out.write, all this crap. And if it's async, then we should say so. If it returns errno, then we need that errno wrapper. Did I just not put a new line at the end of this? Why would I not put a new line at the end of this? Is there some kind of logic here? I don't think so. And we need to serialize async functions. This also is just the same. But I think what I need to do is try to turn all of these other examples into examples like this, to whatever degree is possible. And I'll try to do the same for each component. So, like the accessors, so this is okay. It would be helpful to have this code nearer by, even though I'm not going to per se use this code, because I should be able to just make a function declaration for each of these. That's not the nearby I want it. That'll do. I see. It was part of my old apply funcs that actually gave it the name. Yeah, type underscore name. I understand. Okay. Just to make it consistent. I don't want to have to write that each time here, but it's worthwhile to make it consistent there. Okay, so for normies, I get right. Okay, I get an array case. This is not normies, this is arrays. Yes. Okay, so do I have A and AS maybe? Okay. Make sure I'm being consistent. Yes. So array getter will be like that. Array setter. Since I'm going to be typing that a lot, let's this is what I'm going to be typing a lot, actually, so I'll just PF for prefix. The setter does not return anything. Okay, now I can get back to my oh, of course. These are not methods, so I need to actually pass the receiver. So I should have... Oh, I see. I'm just doing a for each of num and dim. And then, yeah, I just have the easy. But then I also, as I recall, yes, have a setter for both. Look at how much cleaner this code is, question mark. Right, because it returns a string, sensible enough. Yeah, I guess the prefix is the entire name in this case. That's the last one. And that way my function writer will also write the accessors. What's next? The freers. I can do the same for the freers. I forgot that might not have any accessors, so if there aren't any, that'll be nothing. Oh, yeah, okay. So this, I don't think there's any way to mix that into the previous case. It's too unique of a function. So no, this just needs to be separate. Basically, I just need this. Except everywhere where this says decal, I need freer. Copiers. Yes, these are also manual, so same thing. How does this look? Oh, I guess copiers are the one thing that aren't there. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me attempt to make this a little bit clearer. that's right. You start with a beginning post.in.js, don't you? That's why I did it that way. Yeah, because all those mappings are in the middle. Oopsie poopsie. Going to take me a while to undo what I just did, but needs must. Is there a reason I didn't name it out? A reason I think I only named it inp to be compatible with, or out to be compatible with inp, but I only named it inp for stupid reasons. So. Okay, this is no longer what I want to call this. Probably I just want to call it, let me think carefully here. I guess just post and then the variant. No, never mind. I do actually want to write this out even though I'm doing it differently. Now to fix the multitudinous bugs I've just made. Okay, S is json.stringify. That seems to be the only place I'm using it. Oh, because I made that a const, and then I tried to replace it. CDOT functions is not iterable. Presumably it's undefined, but why? It's an empty object? Wait. Yeah, functions is supposed to be... Software resample doesn't have any, but that wouldn't be an empty object. It would be undefined. I mean, this is... Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm outputting FC, not fc.objects. Oops. Or fc.functions. Oops. Given that software sample has no... nothing. It has nothing here. I'm going to remove it from the configuration fragment. Yeah, all that should be needed is the libs part. As long as I link it as a library, it will do the right thing. FC is not defined. Oops. Configs, default components. Yep, software resample isn't there. Interesting that it was only at Frears. You would think that, oh, what? Well, that is easily explained. I left some outside of the loop. Silly. Starting to look good. There we go. Looks pretty convincing to me. Whee! Okay, that's step one. Okay, post.js was the first one. And for some reason, I can't, this won't find the end of this. Types is the next one. Things should be similar. Up until this point, and then what it actually does will be different. Yike-a-rooney. Well, okay, yeah, same thing. I can do what I attempted to do before and just add it all to the functions and then have one big function blah to actually do it. So just for reference, I'm going to copy all of this in, but then I'm going to implement it in a very different way. Ah, and I have sync output and async output, and yeah, that's going to be pretty unavoidable. Okay. Just checking something for comparison. Okay, I did call that decal. It's weird because I didn't call it decal anywhere else, but whatever. So I'm going to actually start like this, because I suspect that most of this is going to have to stay exactly as it is. Yeah, the documentation stuff is entirely part of this. So this will go here. I don't think I have anything like this. This is param. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Trying to. Okay, yeah. Never mind. This all makes perfect sense and should still work exactly as is. Seems to have added this. Oh, I guess yeah. Duck.raw probably is the actual, uh, like it has the comments. It has the actual comment line. So just for a little bit of consistency, async is actually primary in this library, so it really should come primarily. Right, and in this case, it has to make it itself. That makes sense. Okay, so all of that thus far was just for documentation. Then it does the actual thing. I'm going to temporarily copy this line, but I'm not going to use it because I just want to use it for reference. Args? Oh yeah, that makes sense. The return type is ret of decal1. Oh yeah, of course. Because the return types are going to have different naming conventions. And async, yes, okay. There's this condition. Sort of an interesting case. I guess, yeah. It could technically, yeah. That just means it can be async. So if it's set to async there, that means it may be async even if you're trying to do it synchronously, just because of the nature of the thing. But it could always not be async just because. Where the hell was I? You know what? This is identical right up until the return type. So, in fact, it's identical right up until whether it has or promise. So I can literally take this part and stick it here. And yeah, just in this special case, I have to write that extra bit. Oh, right. This is not the same output. This is sync out. I am genuinely, I think, making it better with this rewrite. Okay, now let's do my trick correctly. Right. I'm rewriting code again. Never good when you're doing that. So, yes, if it's an array, then we have... This is not correct. Is it? Because it would be underscore A. Oh, hello, No lurk command. I think, are my signatures incorrect here? Because it's underscore A, isn't it? Surely I would have noticed that before now. Because I do use these types. What is, and well, maybe here's the problem. What the hell is an array that I actually use? There are so few arrays in these types. I guess line size. How? I guess it was my previous implementation of the accessors function that was adding that. Okay, how was I doing this in makepost? Right, PF. Okay. So the array accessor returns a number, takes the... Oh. I didn't think about that. Yeah, where are these names to come from? I have an idea. I can have it self-document. Okay, so all I need is that the first argument is named pointer and the second is named index, or idx. So that would be in doc.param as an array, decal name, doc param. Pointer. This feels vastly more complicated, but I think it should be better because it will be like it's using one consistent behavior rather than like a eclectic mix. There are many more of these for rationals, which is a little bit unfortunate. numerator set also takes the value, which is called val. Like, this is a lot more typing right now, but it will be more obvious how it works as it's all using the same facility rather than having multiple. Denominator is the same. And then I also have a all setter. Oops. Which sets both the numerator and the denominator. Okay. As these are getting rather long, let me just add a little bit of white space for clarity. Prefix. Returns a string, that's the distinction. Otherwise is a numeric thingy. You know what? I am going to write a helper function for all of these. This is getting silly. I can't spell. Oh, wait. That's not what I want. What I want is doc param, and this is the result of that. Look at how much briefer that is. Okay, that's just the pointer. I will also, of course, be using that for all of the other versions of this. Prefix setter, no return. This takes 2 arguments, number, and the parameter names are pointer, and val. LGTM. Furs have pretty simple declaration. Do I have Freer sync? And if I don't, why don't I? I would presume that I could make Freer sync just like I could make any other sync. Why didn't I make Freer sync? Because I'm about to make the type for it. Aren't all the syncs in post? No, that's right. The syncs sort of come out of nowhere. The syncs are created in libav. In the actual like front end, libav.js. Yeah, so they're not created here. This doesn't even know they exist. Which means all of these. Yeah, okay. They should have sync versions. They didn't before. Or rather, they did, but they weren't documented. And this will give me the documentation as well. So, good. I have unbotched something, shockingly. How did furs look? Wasn't it just a string? Yeah, it's just a string. Oops. And the copiers. Whoops. Copy in this type. Number. Oh, I see. Yeah, of course. Uh, uh, Interesting. This would not have worked as a, well, anywhere else, but it will work here because I really just use that string as the output. And then copy out type. This is going to return the typed array. Takes two numbers. Okay. Now this crashes, and I try and figure out why. Oh, zoot. Oh. It didn't output anything. What? Just... Uh, how did you even manage not to write out anything? I mean, this was incorrect because there was no declared out variable, but surely that, yeah, that would not have caused that. I am genuinely confused by how this even managed to output nothing, not even an error. It just sort of did nothing. How is that possible? It can't just stop. Did I leave a return in somewhere and it's returning early? That is in a nested function. That shouldn't matter. Yes, I did. Brilliant. There we go. So somewhere in here, there should be a big old, yep, blah. Looks pretty good. Let's also check like one of the freers. Make sure that got in correctly. Those aren't freers. Let's look from the bottom. There we go. Yep, it's got the right names. That all looks pretty good to me. Okay, what is next up? To port. Probably only going to manage to do one more of these given the current time. This is going to be a long process, but I promise you it may or may not be worth it. Types. Yeah, there's not a ton more left, so right, libav.js, which is also libav.mjs. And this is the only place where I actually took the version into the name. So I'm going to have the version in the make file. Yeah, this takes the version there. Need to think for a second here about how this works. Build for something, yeah, it makes libav version whatever.js. So this should really just be a copy of the original. Oh, but probably with like the variant substituted in, whereas now I'm going to need to make that directly since the variant directly matters. Oh, this is when I run it through Cursor. So I should probably make... think... I don't want to tersorify it directly. This... I see. So I should probably change up how this works and make the debug version... Oh, dang it, but debug is still there. Okay, so I just need to make an in. Even though that feels a little bit weird, there's more processing to be done after this part of the processing, so I'll just make an in file. I'll take one in file and make a different in file. So this has a lot of options then. It has the variant, the version, and whether it's making ES5 or ES6. Yeah, and in the grand scheme of things, there's really not that much for these in particular. So let's see. The variant is process argv2. The version is process argv3, and the file name suffix is process.argv4, so that'll be MJS if it's a ES6 file. Right, okay, there's funcs and local funcs, which is confusing, but I think the idea is local as in local to whoever is running the libav.in script and not on a worker. Let me check if that makes sense. Oh, no, it's thread direct. I see. Oh, this is not confusing at all. Right, okay, yeah. So which ones do you use in directors and which ones do you not? If you're using worker, then everything's indirect. If you're using threads, then I see. Normal and local is man, but what else am I supposed to call that? Because it's interesting. In the worker case, they're all indirect. Yeah, I guess normal and local is about as good as it's gonna get. So these are just names, I guess. Yeah, they are just names. Yeah, okay. I think it may be worthwhile just to go one by one through them, through each set. Because, like, this is a normal func, and it has this form. The accessors, I've nowhere else touched FS yet. Yeah, because I do the documentation for the FS type, the type documentation for the FS type manually, so there's nowhere else that would be. Okay. Oops. fc.functions. c.fs or nothing. So fs is local. I guess that makes some sense. No reason to copy over whatever it is you're writing to a file across the thread boundary. This is, yeah, first time for meta too. And is meta local? I guess meta probably isn't local, actually. Indeed. Only FS and copiers are local. Okay. Dot meta. I don't like how much I'm repeating this. How did I make this brief? The metaprogram, this is like one of those situations where like the metaprogramming gave me a lot of power, but that power isn't useful if I don't understand how it worked. Because like this should have to have, you know, the array cases and the, yeah, it should have to have all of it. Just for symmetry, I'm going to put these in neat rows. And the only other cases are string, which doesn't actually have any difference in this case, and just normal, so they both fall here. Oh no, strings are special because, dang it, because there's no setter. Okay. And freers. Really? Should freers not be local? Wouldn't you want freers to be direct? I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's really just copying large amounts of data that you don't want to be indirect. And then the easy to miss one is copiers. And copiers we do want to be local. if we're making a modular file, then we do this, else we, I don't know why I decided to type it out again in that case, but else we do this. Out equals out. That's not a confusing line at all. And then we write it out. This will definitely be the last one I do today. I think there's one more that needs to be done. It should be pretty easy for next time. Okay, so like if I am doing default, the hypothetical version 12.34, and I'm making MJS, then I don't know why I didn't expect it to immediately crash. Normal. Oh, of course, these shouldn't be, yeah. When was exports supposed to get set? Possibly elsewhere is the answer to that. It could be like here. No. Where was export supposed to get set? Where was export supposed to get set? What the hell? Surely somewhere. Right, okay. Yeah, I remember how this works now. Because I don't actually have a total list of all the things that are exported, because it's just exported in software. So I actually import the ES5 version, look at its exports, and use that to describe the exports. So it's fine for that dev exports for now, because like one or two other of the at things, it's going to be replaced automatically in a later step. This is going to be quite the complicated sequence of changes. Oh, I see. That's, yeah, so like, I guess I could replace the variant, because I actually know that now, which I'm calling config. Yeah, so there's a few things left to be replaced, but those are in later steps. This is all that apply funcs ever did. Okay. Whew, much more integration to be done. This will